pressed the button.
I didn't press the button.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, everybody. This is Coach James and Coach Mike today. I don't like.
You're off to a great start.
I don't like doing the talking. Can we restart? No. All right, guys. So we're just gonna go over some more armbar stuff off of yesterday, and Mike's gonna show another simple armbar drill you can do at home from Side Control today. So you want to start the Side Control one?
Sure.
And then go over.
All right. So, yep, no problem. So we're gonna go and we're gonna do a armbar from Side Control. It's a position, basic position that everybody gets into, and really easy and simple to set up. There are obviously a lot of extra advanced movements you can do to do more arm bars from here, but we're just gonna go basics. All right, so first things first, I want to get good side control. Okay, now if his arm is behind my arm here, okay, because I'm underneath his head and it's behind my arm, all I'm going to do is right here, I'm just going to pull it up. Now from here, I'm going to go to knee on belly, and notice how I just sit on him. I'm just putting my shin right into his armpit right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to step over his head right here, and we've got an armbar. Really simple to do. If you want to go from knee on belly, the process is the same. I just get to knee on belly. When he puts his hand on my hip here, all I'm going to do is pull it up, slide in, step over, head. Now.
I'm a pillow now.
Huh?
I'm a pillow now.
Okay, now he's a pillow with no arms, right? He's my dummy. How am I going to do this with this? Okay, I'm going to hug my pillow. Hands on either side of my pillow now. Up. Okay, I can imagine I've pulled up on the arm, so I can put my hand in my pocket here or grab my belt. Slide over the top and come down. Now from here, I imagine I'm lifting up. Now, one more time. Hands on the side as if I had side control. If you want to lock your hands behind your pillow, you can, right here. I'm just going to go hands on the side. If I'm just going to go like as if I was going from side control, hand in my pocket, come up, knee up.
No, Kelly, can you come see this? Now, if you guys can't tell, he's pinching my neck. So if you're using a pillow or a towel, you guys should be pinching with either side of the legs, like you're scissoring the pillow or towel.
Right. One more variation from side control. Really easy variation. And I know I'm moving quickly, so if there's anybody watching who has a question, feel free to stop me and say slow down, whatever.
Or if you're watching later, comment.
Right.
Please comment.
A lot of times he's going to be trying to frame. So he's here, or maybe he wants to try to roll out, so he's going to try to get this arm in front. That's fine. All I'm going to do is I'm going to push it across. When he pushes it across, I'm going to catch it and gift wrap. We're going to step over into technical mount. I did that really sloppy, so I'm going to do it again. So we're here. Maybe I want the arm across so I can sit out, push it across, catch, and I'm going to roll him up. From here, control the legs, step in. Okay, now for my arm bar, I reach through. I can rethread if I want to rethread, but for this one I'm going to reach through because I'm going to take his head, I'm going to shove it down, sit on him, and now I've got my arm bar. Okay, again, I'm scooping, his elbow is past my hips, and my knees are pinching. One more time. Side control, okay? Let's say I want the arm in front of me, so I'm going to turn towards the head. So I'm now in this sit-out position. I'm controlling the arm. I swim inside, and I push it across. From here, I'm going to catch it. I'm going to bend his elbow or push his hand across, and I'm going to catch it in this gift wrap position. So I go one grab, behind the head, two, and as I roll back into side control, now I'm behind the head, and he's on his side. I'm on my knees. From here, I'm gonna control it. So I'm gonna control his hips as I step over, technical mount. Now, I'm gonna rethread. I can threaten to snake choke here. I don't need to necessarily. I'm going for the arm bar. So I'm gonna go elbow to elbow, right here. I'm gonna let go and control his chin now. Now when we're practicing with a partner, be nice. Just gently push. In competition, shove it to the ground. Wham! Now look, I'm sitting on him. Okay? His elbow is above my hips. My knees are gonna start to pinch, and I'm gonna scoop his head as I sit back to the floor. As I sit, and then I can extend my body to fall. And again, we're sliding up the arm, and I'm gonna get my tap here. If he's a pillow, how do I do this with a pillow? Again, I'm gonna have to use some more imagination, okay? So, I'm here, now watch. I turn, I sit. So I'm gonna bring my leg on this side through in front of me. I'm gonna sit on my butt cheek on this side. Push the arm across. Catch, grab. And I rolled him back up. So now I'm here. So if he's my pillow, maybe I grab my pillow or my blanket and I'm just gonna roll him. Okay?
Aha.
If he can't, if it's something small that's not gonna roll, we're just gonna imagine it. So I rolled, control the hips, step over, sit. Good. Sit on top, fall back. That's how you do 2 basic arm bars for side control.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
And 1, I guess, from knee on belly, technically.
Any questions so far? Perfect. Okay, guys, so we're going to move on to some guard arm bars. We went over this, I think we went over this arm bar
Fairly
months
recently.
ago. Yeah. But I'm going to give you guys a little drill you guys practice on at home. The drill's good for a lot of things, but it's also good for this arm bar. So, here we go.
Tap myself
Oh, I'm
up
sorry.
here. I'm gonna give him a little extra show, you know?
So, I'm here. So we're gonna go for my arm bar, whichever setup you guys would like to do. It doesn't really matter the setup because you're gonna end up in the same position. So I'm here, I'll go over the setup I like to do. Over, I'm in high guard, I turn, and I hook. Now he stands up. Now look, I'm gonna continue grabbing this arm here. I'm gonna rethread it through. Because now I need to use this hand. I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna move, oh, can you move your foot off my hair? Thank you. I'm gonna move my head to this side. It's very important, guys, that my head is gonna come right here. I'm keeping my hips up the whole time. I'm controlling his elbow. Now look, come all the way through, and now I'm pushing. When I'm here, he's gonna collapse. I still have his arm, and my knees are pinched together still. I have his elbow very well. That's because I kept my hips high. It's very, very important. From here, look, I'm just going to see his thumb right here. I'm just gonna pull and hip. Sometimes they'll roll to try to get out of it because if I don't follow, he can come up now and finish. But all I have to do is finish here instead. Okay, so it's very, very important. I'm using my hand to hook the far leg and I'm putting this ear, the opposite ear, to the outside of that leg. Keeping my hips up the whole time. It's very, very important. If you stop halfway, he's just gonna smash you and it's not gonna work. So I'm here, I'll go to the other one. 1, 2, I'm here. He comes up, now look, he's stacking me. From here, guys, he's just gonna try stacking and pulling his arm out into the position. If he gets here, we have something else that we're gonna do. Okay, but you really don't want him to get fully locked in because right here it's gonna be hard to finish. Okay, so I get here, he doesn't quite have it yet. Look, I scoop, all one motion. I get here, I finish, or he rolls, I bring my leg over. My leg's gonna be like this, very important as I come here and finish. Any questions so far?
Nope.
That's great, Maya. No questions so far? Perfect. So, before we go over the next technique, let's go over the drill on the wall. Actually, I haven't done it on the cage yet, so I don't know how.
First the same.
Yeah.
Probably easier because now you've got
got
less of a
grip.
flat surface and grip.
So all I'm gonna do, you guys, is an inverted drill. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna put your head. I like to put I have longer legs, so I like to put my head a little off the cage. Actually, you know what? A little more, just a little off the cage. All I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring my feet right here. Now all I'm gonna do is walk. If you want, you can start right here too. I found it easier when I first started doing this, if I start with my feet over my head. So, I'm here, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go one way and go invert. I'm gonna walk and go again.
Notice how his head rolls inside every time.
That hurts.
So he's trying to roll it onto his shoulders, bringing his shoulders underneath his knees. A lot of people, when they do this and have troubles with it, they're using their feet too much, and they end up pushing themselves away from the wall. The goal isn't to be pushing yourself away. The goal is to keep touching.
Yeah, it's just like walking. So this is a really good drill to help you go inverted and get that flexibility for your neck, and get used to this motion right here, because you're going to use that motion a lot. That does hurt. You're going to use that motion a lot for sweeps, for arm bars, for transitions, a lot of different things you're going to use that for. So get in a hallway, try to get a long wall, get in a hallway, practice going one way and back 2 or 3 times. Careful, make sure you guys are going both ways. Don't get too dizzy and end up hurting yourself or getting sick.
Now, if you don't have a wall.
Oh, person.
Yeah. So, before the person. Let's say I don't have a wall. My parents don't want me to put my feet on the wall. You know, if you lived in my house growing up, I would have gotten whacked pretty hard for putting my feet all over the wall. So, how do I do this otherwise? Okay, so you can still practice going inverted. We've done this before. You can either put your hands underneath your thighs, you can put your hands behind your back, however you feel comfortable. I think behind your back is a little easier in my opinion, but some people really feel like it's easier on the shoulders if they go over their thighs, or under their thighs. So either way you want to do it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll through, and when I go behind my back, I'm just reaching to the other hip here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this way. Now look, my feet stay over my head, and I come through. And I come through, and I go back the opposite way. And if you can keep your feet on the floor, amazing. You just have to work up some flexibility. If you have a line to follow, your shoulders, if you're doing this correctly, should go along the line. And I shouldn't come off the line, if at all. And this will help. And then so if we're doing the drill, since you do it, since you should show here for this. If you have a person to practice with, this is going to be more of an advanced drill. So I'm just standing with a good base. And Coach James is doing the same thing. He's moving himself around. Now you can continue to go around all the way if you want. You can go all the way around to the back.
You just have to have a really strong base in order to do it. I didn't mean to kick you, sorry.
Yeah, fine.
Woo! You're dizzy. So yeah, all you do, guys, is see how I'm hooking when I go invert. What's going on the hip? This thing here, I'm hooking behind and I pass. I come all the way to the side. My foot's still here. Putting my leg behind his knee. I go again. I just keep passing my legs and my hands to each other. Oops, sorry.
Here. So these are really good drills. Like if you want to especially get better at, you know, your no-gi and you're wanting to do heel hooks and things like that. Imanari roll. This is basically Imanari rolling. It's really no different. So just another really good drill. If you got a person, practice it. You know, if you get good at it, you get really smooth, and you'll see your transitions go through the roof.
Now with that being said, guys, that roll and that drill, you guys have a lot of neck flexibility. So if you can't do that comfortably, just start feet over head. If you can't get all the way to here, try to get here. If you can't get to here, just bring your knees here and try to rock back just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overdo it, especially when you're trying to get your neck flexible and doing this motion. But eventually you should be able to get here and eventually get all the way.
And it should be comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, armbar and being stacked and stuff like that. I would let people sit stacked on top of me for a long time, or just stack me in double underpasses and things like that, thinking like their pressure is going to push me off. But no, like that exercise alone helped build my stamina, if you will, for just being in that position. So
yeah, any questions so far? No? Okay, one more thing today, and then we're going to call it for the techniques at least. So I'm here. So we're going to do it before you stack.
Yeah.
So I'm here, I come up from my armbar, and he starts to defend right from here. Okay, yeah, just, oh, yeah, here. So if he starts to get here, and he's already like this, guys, I'm probably not going to get the armbar because he's already halfway to the defense. As soon as I throw my leg over, yeah, there you go. He's already here. So if I see that he's already defending like this, why am I going to try doing? I'm literally giving him the defense for a really good stack. And once you guys get here, it's going to be very hard to finish. Most of the time when I get here, I'll actually come back to high guard, or I'll come to this arm drag position to start going for other things. So if I don't want to go there, I have a different option, another submission. So I come here, and before I hook, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hold his arm, bring my leg over so he can't stack. Now look, I'm just going to bring it down and come here. When I turn towards his legs, if I'm going to hug, I hug his hip, or I hug under his leg. I don't like to hug here because he can grab my wrist and do his own omoplata. When I come up, I'm here, I sit up, bring my legs away from him. I'm going to sit into his head. His elbow is bent. I'm controlling this wrist right here. Okay. So just simple armbar to omoplata submission. I come here. I'm coming from my armbar. I come here. He's already blocking. If he's already grabbing his biceps, this is where I'm going to go. Hug his arm across. So I kind of have a, what do we call this?
I don't know what you would call it.
I don't know what I call this.
Just like a double arm grip.
Yeah. So I have both his triceps on the top, on either side. So now I'm going to hook, bring it down, grab his belt under his leg or his butt. He has the belt, so I'm going to grab his belt. Kick down, sit up, come here. Now look at this leg. Have to come back. All I'm going to do, controlling the wrist, sit up into him. That's it. Very simple. So if you're going to do it in the air, very simple. I do the same one that we just did for the armbar. I come up, puts down, I turn. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my leg over and sit up. So if I'm facing this way, I'm going to sit up this way. So at a 90-degree angle. So I turn, get my angle. I'm not at 90 degrees yet. I bring my leg over over, sit up, move your S mount. Put down, turn, I'll climb back later, hook the head, sit up at my 90-degree angle. So yeah, that's it. That's armbar to omoplata. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so there's something I've been seeing on Instagram lately, and it's I just want to quickly talk about it. So we get a lot of people who come to jiu-jitsu from like Army combatives and things like that. And since we're talking about armbar, I just want to discuss like why maybe they do arm bars the way they teach them in combatives, and that's this. Yeah, I know. So so let's just say this. First of all, as we'll call it pure jiu-jitsu practitioners, when you or anybody else in the community who would consider themselves a jiu-jitsu practitioner, see an armbar done the wrong way or just not in the technical finishing way, a red flag goes up and you're like, why the heck are they doing it this way? Okay, so this is what we see in the videos. They do an armbar, and number one, they're too far out of the arm. You know, whether they've gone from a hip toss into an armbar, they're too far out of the arm. And two, then they do this cross thing behind their head. So even if they have their elbow, can I finish the armbar from here? Well, a jiu-jitsu practitioner would say no, because all James is going to do is going to come up. Because I've got no head control. And this is simply why we make sure that we come over the head. So there are times when it's appropriate, as I did earlier, where my leg is going to be behind the head over his shoulder, but I'm always covering the head with one leg. Whether it's here, both legs over the head in some instances, one leg over the body, one leg over the head, one leg under the head, and one leg over the head. Remember, the concepts are to be able to scoop the head, right? Elbow past the hips, pinching the knees, scoop the head, with those three concepts. So, we have some people who have been in the military with us, who have gone through combatives training. We have some people who are active right now overseas, maybe doing combatives trainings there, and they may be learning to do things this way for whatever reason. That's the way they're being taught. What I would say is this: in sport jiu-jitsu, you're doing it in a specific way in order to make sure your opponent is stopped. In combat, for a combat veteran, they're doing things in a way to just try to make sure they survive. So if you're one of the people who goes out there and watches a video or sees a picture and is like, well, that's completely wrong, you know, laugh emoji, blah, 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 take it with a grain of salt. Recognize that, remember, their ultimate goal is to just survive in a fight so that they can go to the next fight. In sport jiu-jitsu and combat jiu-jitsu, our goal is to finish our opponent and make them tap. Hopefully we don't have to break their arm, but just put them in enough pain to tap, Why are they not taught the same way? I can't tell you.
That's actually a really good question, because I was actually thinking about that the other day. Because my brother, he's a lot of you guys know my brother's, one of them's in Korea, one of them's in Hawaii right now. And they sent me a picture of actually them doing an armbar. And he's like, yeah, look at this, da, da, da. I'm like, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why are you doing it this way? This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But I mean, you're absolutely right. The other thing is a lot of the military only gets 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks of hand-to-hand combat training.
I don't know the actual number.
I want to say he said it was 2 weeks.
It could be different for different branches, and depending what your MOE is and all that. The point really is that us as jiu-jitsu teachers, pure jiu-jitsu teachers will say, traditional jiu-jitsu, we have to, and you as a student have to kind of put your ego aside a little bit and say, and just recognize, like, at least they're trying.
Yeah.
You know, at least they're trying. Can it be better? Yes.
Wait,
Could yours be better?
That's what I was going to say, is I don't know how long they're doing it, but
Yeah.
based on what my brother said, like, they might only go over an armbar twice. And boom, that's how they do an armbar.
Right.
So, you know, the little mistakes might just
Right.
not be corrected when they are training.
Exactly.
So
You know, it's one of those things why when people come to us from the military and they say, you know, they're like, hey, I was a, you know, combatives level 4 or whatever it was, even if it was a high level, you know, and I know how to do this and that, and then they go with somebody who's just a one stripe, you know, white belt, who's been practicing traditional jiu-jitsu, you know, things are a little rough for them sometimes. So just recognize that there's just different styles being taught for whatever reason, you know, and to try to be helpful versus antagonizing or insulting. Always put your best face forward. Our goal is to share the art, and not make people think that we, you know, are really, you know, big-headed about what we do. So just try to stay positive. If you see something like that, you could point out the differences. Well, if we were in a traditional jiu-jitsu class, these are the things I'd want to see. I'd want to see the elbow past the hips. I want to see the knees pinching. I want to see head control. Okay, so if there's no head control, meaning scooping the head, then potentially there's a way out of that arm bar. And then whoever picture it was, you know, maybe the U.S. military and their instructors see that and they start to adjust their training methods because of it. People are more likely to make changes when it's given to them in a positive way versus in a negative way. So I just want to put that out there because I've seen a lot of it, and I've gotten to the point where I have to just kind of scroll through because I don't want to end up in an internet argument with 45,000 people. So anyway, tomorrow video will start at 4:30. The virtual class will. We hope that the kids are continuing to do their homework. Hope you use today's lessons. I've made a video which will be available by the end of the week for kids and adults to follow along. It's just a basic exercise video. Should take anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes for you to complete. Yeah, if anybody has any more suggestions, anything they want to see, any questions, make sure you leave us that in the comments. As far as I know, we don't have any questions currently. Is that right? Okay. 2 more days to vote for the end of the week. Who you want to see do combat with each other.
Well, the candidates are still the same from last week. Me,
Right.
Mike, Richard, Fabio, and Mr. Zach is on the poll. So please put your vote in. I might have a couple friends or family members next week for a little fun family thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so this week is still just the 5 of us. So please pick, and should they just comment what kind of match they want?
Yeah,
to
they
see?
can do that. Yeah. I know there isn't a double poll option to kind of say, hey, we want MMA or BJJ or just kickboxing or something like that. So let us know what you want to see. I don't care if it's like a NBA Jam thing. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Appreciate you showing up today.